Because if you think back again as to the example of 9/11, which I brought up before, and the Patriot Act, remember all these powers that were given to the federal government, given to essentially spook agencies like the CIA and the NSA and the FBI. They were given these powers under the Patriot Act for surveillance. They were given these powers because we were in an emergency situation thanks to 9/11 and attacks on U.S. soil. And here we are, almost 20 years later, and the Patriot Act has not left us. And the emergency situation that came along as a result of 9/11, called the War on Terror, has not only not gone away, it's only been expanded over time. It has become a permanent part of our society and our culture. So understand this. Any laws that are enacted, any rules that are changed as a result of an emergency are going to stay with us after the fact. If you look at some of what's happening, the government right now is using these tools of surveillance really to coordinate with private companies, unrestrained, of course, by the Fourth Amendment, and they're using them to waive your medical privacy and invade your personal privacy. They are looking for tools to monitor your movements, your associations, your activities, your behaviors, monitoring your behaviors everywhere you're going, who you're talking to, who you're associating with at this time. We also see this happening right now with the First Amendment, your right to assemble and your right to protest, because right now you have orders that have gone out across the country, again, in cities and in states, saying you are not allowed to congregate in groups of 10 people or more. That is the limit that you're allowed to be in. And essentially saying you cannot gather together. Now, if that happens, that essentially blocks your right as a citizen to protest, to organize, or to assemble with other people. And it is a direct violation of your constitutional right. And you say, well, wait a minute, this is a dangerous thing. We have to be careful about people getting together. But government does not have the right to suspend your constitutional right, to suspend it by saying you do not have the right to gather right now. So essentially, you've killed off, by doing this, any ability for people to organize or to protest together, because doing so violates now orders that have been given on the municipal level and on the state level. I would remind you, as we go through this process, there will be people who will watch this video, I know, who will say, Ben, no, this is something that goes far beyond just these trivial matters of your First Amendment rights, your Fourth Amendment rights, your Second Amendment rights. But I would remind you today that your rights as an American citizen, the Bill of Rights, is far from trivial. And I would remind you that governments, again, love to take power and they never give it back. So we have to be very cautious during this time about what we are allowing government to do and what we are allowing them to seize. What powers are we allowing them to take from us? And certainly to call into question why they are taking those powers. And so we're watching the economy crash. We're watching people lose jobs and they don't have income right now. And we're watching all of it take place under the guise of we must be protected from this tremendous virus that could destroy life as we know it.